Hi, I'm Natalie Benz, and in today's video I'm going to be reading you two true scary stories that were sent in to me by subscribers. But very quickly, before I get into today's video, if you enjoy my videos but you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and click the subscribe button right now. That would make me so happy, and it shows me that you support my channel. So thank you so much, and let's get into it. Make yourself comfortable and get ready for the first story. This first story that I'm about to read you was sent in to me by a man by the name of Pete from South Wales. In February 2002, I was, and now again, a CIA security officer locked in Port Talbot bus station due to teenagers causing trouble congregating around the area and stealing of elderly people. On one shift undercover sitting, as though I was waiting for a bus, 3 teenagers caught my attention. Watching them getting on a bus, then realising the bus driver had gone for his break. I approached the bus. 2 of the teens ran past me by the time I approached the step to the bus. I saw the third grab the money bag and try to pass me. What I didn't see was in his right hand he held a firearm. I blocked his exit. He then raised the firearm in front of my face. What came out of my mouth I still can't believe came out. I'm a Christian. If I die today, I know where I'm going. Go ahead, shoot. What worries me more is where you will end up if you do. With that, he must have tried to release the safety catch. However, he released the cartridge instead and it fell to the floor. I grabbed the bag and watched, as if in slow motion, him run past me, picking up the dropped cartridge and running to catch up on his 2 colleagues. I returned the bag to the bus driver, then gave my statement to the police. The police officer at Port Talbot police station said I was very lucky to be alive. From my description of the firearm, he said it could only be either a starter pistol that shot blanks and from that range could have seriously injured me, or it could have been the real thing. I think it was then that I began to shake and feel sick. The following day, I was moved to a different site in Swansea. This second story was sent in to me by a man by the name of John, who is from America. It was a hot and humid day in August of 1966. The air was just nasty humid. My oldest brother and I were home alone. He suggested we have lunch. So he started making the sandwiches and I made the soup. So as he was making the sandwiches, I started the soup. About 10 minutes in, we heard a knock at the front door. He asked me to go see who it was, and I did. I opened the door and to my amazement, no one was there. I closed the door and went back to what I was doing. After he made the sandwiches and I got done with the soup, we sat down and started eating. 5 minutes later, we heard a knock at the front door again. I went to see who it was, and again, no one was there. I closed the door and went back to sit down and eat. About halfway into eating, we heard the knock again, but this time, he, my brother, went to see who it was. We had friends who loved to play pranks on us, as we did to them, so he opened the door real fast, and again, no one was there. This time he said he was going to leave the door open, and if they do it again, we'll know who it was. After eating lunch and cleaning and washing the dishes, I started back to the family room and my brother went back to his bedroom. Just about halfway through the living room, he called out for me to come into the living room. I did, and he said, "Do you feel cold in here?" I said, "Yeah, it is kind of cold." Now mind you, we did not have AC back then. We did have all the windows open to let the breeze come in. We both watched the thermostat on the wall fall slowly, like someone with real cold breath was blowing onto it. Before, the air in the living room was 89 degrees. The needle on the thermostat went all the way down to 55 degrees in a matter of minutes. As this was happening, we both heard a banging at the front door, or that's what we thought it was coming from. A minute later, there was a loud, hard banging, not at the front door, but at the closet adjacent to the front door. The banging was so hard you could see the door flexing. The banging was so violent. Some seconds later, the closet door flung open, all the coats, jackets and hangers started flying out of the closet. We both watched in horror as this was going on. He and I were so scared we couldn't say a word. Some of the hangers flew across the room and I kid you not, stuck in the far wall. That's how violent this was. After a few more minutes, I looked at him and he looked at me, and both said at the same time, "Let's get out of here." We both ran out of the back door. I'm not sure if we even opened the screen door. That's how fast we ran out. We jumped into his car and drove off. About an hour later, we decided to go back. I was a little hesitant in going back. I was that scared. So we went back. We drove up and he said, "Let's go in and clean up before Mum gets home." I said, "Screw that, I'm not going in. You can, but not me." He went in and came out and told me the house was hot again. No sign of whatever was in there. So reluctantly, I went back in and it did feel back to normal again. We cleaned up all the coats, jackets and hangers, so hangers still stuck in the wall. Later on, when our mum got home, we told her what happened. Of course, she didn't believe us, but we kept insisting it did happen. We showed her the wall where the hangers were stuck in it. About an hour later, Mum decided to tell us about the house and who lived there before. She told us a family of Mexicans lived in the house before us. She said the grandfather had died in the house. She said the room I slept in was the room the grandfather had died in. I said to her, "How did you find this out?" She said she talked to the neighbours who lived on the street we did, and they told her about it. They said to her one night an ambulance came to the house. They said to her one night an ambulance came to the house and picked up the body and took it away. Several months went by and nothing really scary happened. The typical noises like footsteps going up and down the hallway, voices now and then. One night we were all in bed. I woke up to noises coming from the far corner of the room. I sat up, letting my eyes adjust to the light coming in from the street light outside the house. There in the corner stood a man. He had on an old coat and a fedora. As I was watching, the man kept gesturing me to come with him. You can imagine the terror that was going through me at the time. I lay back down, pulled the covers over my head and started screaming as loud as I could. Mum came in and yanked the covers off me. She said I had the look of terror on my face. I told her I saw someone standing in the corner looking at me, gesturing me to come with him. She left the light on in my room and said, "Everything will be fine, just go back to sleep." Well, I never went to sleep for the rest of the night. It scared the shit out of me and is something I will never forget. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. That would make me so happy. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button below right now. That would be amazing. Now I'm going to have a nice cup of tea and I'll see you in my next video.